¿Ustedes ya están listos para iniciar el timing?
Vamos a presentar.
Ok. Recuerden que tienen un tiempo máximo de 4 minutos. Ok. ¿Ya se ve? Cuando estén listos.
Okay, we are ready. Hello everyone.
Okay.
We are Mexatech and we will present our project called Hophan.
In Mexico, one of the most important health problems that affects thousands of Mexicans every year are the amputations, which can be caused by different causes, such as vascular diseases, unintentional injuries, defects of congenital origin, or cancer.
According to INEGI, in the year 2010 in Mexico, around 785,000 persons do not have any limb. And according to a different information source, the number of amputees for 2014 increased to 935,000, which allows to see that amputation index is increasing every year.
According to statistical data, only 1 in 10 people with amputated limbs are rehabilitated, and that only 30% of those rehabilitated know how to use the prosthesis. This means that 90% of amputees in Mexico haven't had access to a prosthesis.
Public and private health institutions such as IMSS only treat amputees due to work accidents. The National DIF only manufactures around 400 prostheses a year. The Crima Lab Querétaro produces prostheses for 130 patients a year. And the CRITS gets to produce prostheses for 775 patients a year. So about 1,500 prostheses are produced in Mexico every year, but all these prostheses are cosmetics, so do not they return the mobility to the patients?
Loss of a thoracic limb arm causes 50% of disability. Loss of a hand generates 45% of dysfunction. Loss of a thumb causes 23% of disability.
Due to this current situation in Mexico, an electronic arm and hand prosthesis printed in 3D is proposed to solve this problem, which offers the same capabilities of a sophisticated prosthesis at a low cost, allowing it to be accessible for all the population that needs a device like this. Next.
Hop Hand was designed 100% by Mexatech.
In this moment, you are looking or design in SolidWorks. Next. This is the final design in SolidWorks. Next. As a control system, we are using 2 electrical sensors to provide the most natural user experience possible. These sensors obtain the electrical signals of the muscle when I flex my elbow or close my hand. And so later, these signals can be processed by a Raspberry Pi Pico controller, which interprets these signals and according to the programming code, allow the movements of the prosthesis. Now, we are going to demonstrate how the prosthesis function. First, connect the sensor for my bicep. And now, I'm going to connect the sensor for my hand. Now the prosthesis is ready to function. When I open my hand, the prosthesis open. When I flex my elbow, the prosthesis flex. When I down, I open, I close, I flex, I down, I open, I close. When detect my muscle activity, the prosthesis interprets and this prosthesis moves. Also, we have a routine to represent how the prosthesis wrist function. In this moment, the prosthesis functions automatically without the sensors.
Tiempo. Okay, jueces, judges, do you have any question for this team?
Okay, I will start again, I guess. Yes, I love this project. It was really interesting, and I consider that the design of the product was really nice, really professional, I would say. So congratulations on that. My first question would be, how will you make your system more responsive, like with a faster response?
Okay. First, we are using a Raspberry Pi Pico. This is a system that responds very fast, but we will use another microcontroller more powerful.
Okay. And why one more powerful? Because for example, a microcontroller might be like more powerful in terms of have more resources of memory or of yes, mainly in memory. But sometimes like the differences between the microcontrollers, like almost all of them work at a top level or a top speed. So could you think like in another option or alternative?
In our programming code, we are using a type of average to make the prothesis don't fluctuate, don't make strange movements, and we can reduce the number of
Samples.
so the number of samples uh, to make more fast our system.
Okay, makes sense. Perfect. My second question would be like, well, first it was which is the power consumption right now of the product?
What?
The power consumption.
Okay. When the hand close, we have a power consumption around 5 amperes, but we
Okay.
are using a battery powerful. This prosthesis is completely portable.
Okay, and have you like make a small study on how long will, like in a normal situation, how long will that battery last?
Around 4 hours.
Okay, do you remember? Just like I'm curious about which is the capacity of the battery?
The battery?
Yes.
Okay, we are using a battery of 7.4 volts.
Okay.
And the capacity of battery is the 6,000 milliamperes.
Milliampere hour. Okay, perfect. I was curious about that detail. I think I have more questions, but I will leave my other the other judges to make theirs.
I
Okay.
have two questions about this project. Mexabot team, first, congratulations for your project. It's amazing. In this kind of project, it's important the signal processing system. Could you explain us a little about the amplifier and filtering stash in your project, please?
Yes, okay. As a filtering, we are using a software filter. We detect the elevation of the signal or the diminution in the signal. And first, we use average for the prosthesis don't make strange movements, and then the sensor function like a switch. So we don't use range to recognize patterns because the prosthesis needs a calibration, but using the detection of elevation, the signals or diminution in the signals only detects when the activity, the muscular activity is detected the muscular activity. When I flex my elbow, the signal, the level of signals is bigger. And when I down my elbow, the muscle is relaxed, and the signal level is we see a diminution in the signal level. With this, we get that the prostheses have more precision than if we use range. For example, if the microcontroller detects a X value, the prosthesis flex the elbow, but this could be less functional because the prosthesis starts to make strange movements and start to fail.
Okay. And are you using an amplifier stage?
No, the sensor incorporates the amplification states in the same sensor. We are using a miWare sensor. This sensor incorporates the amplifier station here.
Thank you. It's clear for me. Thank you.
Hi, I have two questions. Hello, congratulations for your project. I would like to ask you if you know the COFEPRIS regulations for prosthetics.
Okay. We cannot produce the prosthesis in massive way because in Mexico there no exists a regulation for prosthesis. It's very difficult to get a certification for prosthesis by COFEPRIS because in Mexico there no exists a certification for prosthesis. Only we can fabricate the prosthesis for special patients. And currently, the cost of prosthesis is around $722, which is extremely cheap when it's compared to the price of prosthesis exists in the market. A basic prosthesis, a basic robotic prosthesis has a cost around $3,000, which is very high for the population in Mexico.
Thank you very much. And the second one, does this hand can manipulate objects and apply force in the grip?
Oh yeah, in this moment, the prosthesis just can't close the hand and open the hand, flex the elbow and down the elbow. But in the grip, we are just the prosthesis can take the objects like bottles or objects or big objects. No, the prosthesis can't take little objects. We need to improve the grip.
Thank you very much.
Okay, does anybody has another question?
I have one last
Okay.
question, and it's if you will like taking this product and creating like taking it into mass production, so you can like manufacture, let's say, 1,000 of these arms. Which will be like the biggest challenge to make this production in the current state of the project?
The biggest challenge could be the design, because this prosthesis is not universal, because all the bodies are different. Talking about weight, size, and age. So for each patient, we need to take a medition of her arm, and after that, we need to make a design customizable according to the consumer.
Okay. Okay, I understand. So it will be basically each product would be perfectly customized for the user, right?
Yeah, because we are looking the most natural user experience possible. And talking about that, we are working in, well, okay, now we are starting to work in a new control system for the prosthesis. Currently, we are using electrical sensors to detect the movements of the muscles, but currently we are working in a new control system which consists in a mind control. But it's a little difficult. So we are starting. Now we are starting in a new control system with this headset to control to the mind.
Okay.
Okay. I'm really excited of hearing that. Thanks for your explanation.
Thank you.
Okay, mexatech. Muchas gracias. Thanks for the team. The last team. We have Arabot